I am of the belief that we are all the same. Humans. What is cracking, Hope Nation? It's good to see you. I'm glad you're back. If you've just joined us for the very first time here at Hope Nation, youtube.com/Kevin Hines. You've never been here before. Little brief intro into why this channel is important for lots of people in pain. My name is Kevin Hines. In the year 2000, I attempted to take my life by jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. I survived that fall. I'm so grateful that I got to live because now I get to work tirelessly to try to help everyone I know in pain that I get to meet fight that pain and stay here. That's my job. That's what I try to do every day of the week to the best of my ability. Try to help people change their lives. I hope I'm doing a good one. All right, so here's the thing. We are going to talk about questions that are asked to me online from Instagram. Shout out Instagram. Here's some great questions you have asked me on my platforms, and I'm gonna answer them. Ready? Let's go. So I got a great question the other day. Really want to answer this question. I don't respond to this a lot because, well, not too many people ask me, but let's do it. How do your injuries affect you today? Well, most of you who know me would not notice the chronic physical pain I'm in from my attempt off the Golden Gate. If you know the story, you know that I shattered my T12, L1, L2 lower vertebrae. They burst into shards, and it's my understanding that I missed severing my spinal cord that day by 2 millimeters. So yeah, I shattered my T12, L1, L2 lower vertebrae into shards, and they burst inside me. It was excruciatingly painful during the attempt and in the water. And today, especially when it's cold outside, I have extreme chronic physical pain because of it. It's something that I don't take pain meds for today, and let me tell you why. My biological mom and dad, they died of drugs, and my birth mom, really died of mental illness and a potential suicide. But before that, she got back on drugs, and this was something she battled with her whole adult life. And my father, my biological father, Martino, it's my understanding, died searching for drugs while on drugs, and he assaulted or accosted an undercover police officer, and tragically he was killed. So I never got to know my biological mom and dad as an adult or even as a young child, even as an adolescent, as I'm adopted, and that really is hard for me. It really breaks my heart that I never got to meet them, and the reason I never got to meet them was because of mental illness, drugs, and really brain pain. And so I think about that every time I used to ingest pain meds for this extreme back pain. No more. I haven't. I think I used to cope with it by, and let me just be frank with you. When I came out of the hospital, first of all, in the hospital during the recovery, you're talking about regular amounts of morphine being pumped into my system during, and after the surgery. I got off of that, and then they send you home with a very potent drug, OxyContin, and I would say I used too much of it. When I found myself falling down that track, I stopped cold turkey. Not the way I recommend you doing that, but the pain was still great. I trickled down to lesser pain meds, all the way down to Tylenol, one of the safest of the pain meds. And then I realized, I don't need it. It hurts every day. It's gonna hurt every day. Am I gonna get used to taking this, drive myself into an ulcer or two, or am I just gonna cope and work really, really hard physically on my body to keep it in shape and keep it well? So I decided the latter. So the pain affects me in a big way. Let's talk about my other issues with pain. Last year, a year and a half ago, 30 weeks, 24/7, excruciating physical pain, feeling like knives and needles are coming from my bones, through my skin, across my entire body, second-degree burns from toe to top of my head. One of the medications I've been taking for the better part of 20 years poisoned my insides. I had to get off of it. And the burns went away. You can see my skin is clear, but I was translucent at one point. You could see the blue of my veins and blood. It was terrible. And in that excruciating physical pain, maybe took 2 Tylenol over that entire 30-week course of pain. I don't want to get into that too much, but I want to tell you that I believe today, after that experience with chronic, excruciating physical pain, 24 hours a day, 30 weeks, 7 days a week, that was it for me. I said, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. You know, to get into something more clear so you can understand it, we talk about suffering all the time in the clinical field. Clinicians, when they meet you, if you're dealing with mental illness, and this could be your narrative, and that's okay. This is my personal feeling. Clinicians have given us the term suffering. You walk into a psychiatrist's office, they look at you, they assess you for 15 minutes, and they say, son, you're suffering with bipolar disorder. Miss, you're suffering with an eating disorder. Friend, you're suffering with depression, major depression. Here's the thing. That's a narrative given to us by clinicians who don't have mental disorders. I've taken I've shifted my thought process on this. After that physical pain that was so extreme, after I'd break down crying in airports, people would wonder why. After I'd fall to my knees because I couldn't walk, to my next terminal, I made a decision. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. I've never suffered a day in my life. Even though I was born in a really tough situation and had a lot of infant trauma, never suffered a day in my life. I choose to thrive in spite of the pain. And that's my experience with pain. That's how my injuries affect me today. I hope you like that part of the video. Click subscribe, hit that notification bell, and make sure you get on this channel. And please, whatever you do, give us a thumbs up on this video and share it with your friends and family so we can build a network of people that are becoming more mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and brain-wise well. We want you to find the art of wellness and better well-being today. Oh, I like this next question. What advice would you have for someone who is scared to come out? This is a great question. If you're scared to come out, there's a lot of reasons you're scared. We live in a society today that I feel like is more bigoted than ever before. We live in a society of the last decade, 20, 30, 40 years, where being gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, questioning, all of these things, plus, we don't want to forget the plus. I am of the belief that we are all the same humans. If you look at the bigotry and the prejudice against those who look different than us, as in different colored melanin on their skin, and you look at people who live with certain different identities, or you look at people who have certain gender preferences, or you look at people who have certain sexual preferences, there are a great deal of people who outright hate you, and it breaks my heart. My sister Elizabeth is gay and questioning, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's her prerogative. Who am I to judge her? So if you are worried about coming out and you're scared, I want you to think about what will happen to the people around you when you do. So you're prepared for it. Not so you don't do it. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be bold. I want you to be true to yourself, because the truth shall always set you free. And if you love yourself and you have a specific preference and somebody else doesn't like it, guess what? That's their problem, not yours. Even if you live in a family that has consistently made it clear that that's not an option for you, you got to do you. You're amazing just as you are. You're beautiful just as you are. You are perfect just as you are. Anybody that tells you you're not can kick rocks. You deserve to be free in yourself, whatever that means. I was in a car in an Uber yesterday coming to filming, and I mentioned that we're doing a docuseries called Triumph, which we're filming over here in Hotlanta at a great restaurant called Cheeto and Padres. Shout out Cheeto and Padres. And we interviewed an individual who just wants to be called by their name, doesn't want to be referred to as transgender. Just call them by their name, and don't give me an identity that you see, but just let me be me. And he told his story, and it was beautiful, how the transition from female to male, and that he just wants to be called the name that he's been newly given. This individual felt like they were a male figure since they were 4 years old, born as a female. So for all of you coming out in the world and telling your truth for the first time, be bold, be strong, be true to yourself, be honest, and know that if you love yourself, nobody can stop you. And if you don't love yourself, find a way to do so. Because as I said before, you're just perfect as you are, and you deserve the type of existence where you're treated fairly, where you're treated like a human being, where you are loved and cared for by those who surround you. And anybody who hurts you with their words because of what you choose, if you choose to come out, you need to get out of that situation and go find people that are like-minded and hang around them, because we love you and we want you to be just who you are. So that's my advice for someone who would want to come out. This question actually has now been asked to me 3 times. I'm surprised I'm getting it. I'm not. So someone's asking me on Instagram, shout out Instagram, if I have tattoos. Do I have any tattoos? If I had tattoos, you would be able to see them. Let's just leave it right at that. If I had tattoos, they would be like it'd be like a sleeve here and a sleeve there, and like on my face and on the top of my. No, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't have a tattoo. I may never get one, and if I get one, it's gonna be next level. I had this guy. I was once in a manic episode. We flew to Wisconsin, my wife and I, in a manic episode. We met with a tattoo artist. We sat down. We gave him the design. And he was like, son, I cannot do a tattoo on you right now. Your skin integrity is failing 98%. If I do a tattoo on you right now, you could have sepsis and die. So I was like, no, I'm good, never mind. But if I ever do get the skin back to the shape it was without the skin integrity failing, I might just get one hell of a tattoo, and I'm not gonna tell you where it is. You're just gonna have to see it when it arrives on some kind of Instagram feed down the line. But I doubt that it'll ever happen, because I don't want to go through that pain, to be honest with you. So thank you for those wonderful 3 questions that I answered. We had, what advice do you have to someone who's coming out? And do you have any tattoos? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't been with us before, hit subscribe, click that bell, come back next time. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're dropping videos for you, for your brain, mind, behavioral, and mental well-being, and your better health. Okay, guys, that's it for the day. That's the vlog, and I hope to see you next time on youtube.com/Kevin Hines. We got lots of great stuff coming, lots of fun, entertaining, educational, humorous activities for you. See you soon. And be well, and be here tomorrow.